Right then, this is a quick walk around video. It's a bit windy, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. This is actually for my own Civic Type R. It is stunning. 69 plate, just over 50, I think it's 51,000 now. We'll check that inside. It is in beautiful condition. It's going to be a bit quicker because it's showery today and the rain's coming, so I do apologise, but there's nothing to show hardly on the outside. I mean, the front of the car, bonnet, extraordinarily clean. Near side, again, beautifully smooth in the flanks. Alloys, Achilles heel of all sports cars, but these have been kept absolutely beautifully. It's just been serviced. It's had full Honda service history. We've just serviced the car, but using genuine Honda parts. We bought the parts required for a major service according to the dealership. Come around the back of the car, again, beautifully clean. Also just been MOT as well, by the way, so that's fresh in my mind. Again, absolutely stunning. I mean, these are, I've done a video on what I think of them, and it is an extraordinary vehicle in every way, but this one's all about the outside, and it's been kept beautifully. And the colour suits it absolutely perfectly. My initial hunch was to go for black, but I do prefer it in the grey, I have to say. Let's go to the back there. All very clean and tidy. Lots of space there. 4-seater cars, the Type Rs. Come to the front of the passenger side. Worth pointing, I've not valeted the car. As I'm using it, I try and keep it clean. It's been kept beautifully. Finally, driver's dual card. Very clean and tidy. Pipes, obviously Type R mats. Driver's seat again in super condition. So inside the car now, as always, engine's running, so it is stunning in here. Sorry, just a bit glitch on the camera there. Sat nav working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, you can see rear parking camera again working exactly as intended. Docking bay there for your smart charging, but it is absolutely stunning. And then finally, dash binnacle. It's just 51,100 miles, and of course there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic Type R GT, registered FY69UFM, and with mileage currently showing at 51,100. The reason for all of our videos, and especially this bit, is to ensure just make sure someone sees the car we're advertising actually in operation. The reason we think it's important is because, like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. So that's why we do it. This is more of a rarity. It's not completely unknown. Every now and again, either mine or my wife's car comes up for sale. In this case, breaks my heart, this is my one that's up for sale. Background to the car, it's been beautifully looked after. All of the servicing been done by Honda, apart from the very last one which we did using Honda parts. The car is, I'm fussy with my cars, and this is a lovely example. I have done another video on the car all about the Type R and how it drives. I'm not going to labour the point too much. This is more about checking on individual things, starting with, of course, the engine, which starts instantly and settles to a completely smooth and even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge running into third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engine, I mean, it's just an astonishing piece of engineering. It's when you first get in the car, you might be fooled into thinking it just drives like a nice, reasonably quick, everyday car, because it's so smooth, so tractable, so easy. It doesn't fluff or flutter. It's just, it's there and accessible. And it doesn't. It's not like it's sort of hyperactive, so it's difficult to drive. It isn't. Everything about it's dead easy. But the difference is, if you obviously, as soon as you put your foot down, you are going. It's It's an astonishing engine, I have to say. So I just move the carpet from underneath the throttle pedal. But yeah, I mean, the engine is. There's been enough written about it. I don't need to go on about it, of course. But in terms of power, reliability, longevity, Honda have always done this brilliantly well. But the engine is the heart of the car, and they've done a spectacular job with it because it just pulls like an absolute train. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bike point's exactly where it's meant to be. And then you come on to one of the great gearboxes of all time. Only bettered, as I say in the other video, in my opinion, it's only an opinion, by the S2000 gearbox, but that's got the advantage of going straight down into the box. This one obviously has got cables running through to the gearbox under the engine bay. But in terms of in a world we're now living in of predominantly automatic cars, and it's for the true driving enthusiast, maybe getting thinner on the ground, but nothing beats this. You've got rev matching, so on your downshift, so if I was pushing on, change down to third there, blips the throttle to match perfectly. It's brilliant. But the shifts are so short, so mechanical, so direct. It's an amazing box, really is. That feels exactly like it would have done when it was new. And then on to the steering and the chassis. Steering tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit. And again, it's one of these, when you get in the car, initially you might be wondering sort of what it's all about, but then suddenly it all makes sense. It's weighty, it's very direct, but there's no nervousness to it at all. And they've managed, and that's really hard to achieve. Quite often sports cars or sporty cars get in there and the steering's quick, but the chassis can't cope. This is, as soon as you turn the wheel, it's like everything moves in one beautifully direct motion, and the steering has kind of a heavy feel to it, but the more you lean on the car, the more it rewards. It's an amazing setup, absolutely amazing. The whole car feels obviously as tight as a drum. There's no rattles or clonks from underneath the suspension at all. It's all exactly as it should be. And the suspension and the chassis, I mean, it is mind-boggling how capable this car is. I've driven lots of sporty cars in my life, done lots of track racing competitively as well, and rare to ever drive a road car that is as capable as this. Even a mediocre driver could drive the car quickly, competitively. That's how good the chassis is, because the chassis is doing 90% of the work. It is astonishing. You've obviously got the three settings, everyone knows about them. The ride in sport mode, which I'm in now, is very compliant, actually pretty damn comfortable. Only ridges like those will sort of transmit themselves into the chassis, into the cabin of the car. You can pull it back and go into comfort mode, and it is discernible, the difference. It does feel noticeably softer and more compliant. So for those who, and it softens the throttle pedal feel as well, by the way. It is as comfortable as any other Civic I've driven. I mean, it is amazing actually what they've done. Push it back up to sport mode, sport, and then again go into plus R, and you can feel the ride has firmed up much more noticeably. The throttle response, which was good, is now absolutely sensational. God, what a car. But yeah, as I said, I generally offer it and have it in sport mode. The brakes are epic on the car. Again, a heavy initial feel, no pulsing, no vibrations, absolutely spot on. And then they're your friend. You can brake kind of deep into corners on the brakes. I'm not going to get it, but it's amazing. Coming inside, you've got this wonderful interior. All the things you want from a Type R, the little red accents on the dashboard. It's a lovely place to sit, brilliant driving position, sat nav working perfectly well there, all the functions working exactly as they should. Dash binnacle in front again with you. It's got a red background, looks stunning and easy to take the information in. And the only one I've always, I don't know why I've struggled to, I suppose I get used to it more, the fuel gauge to me and the temperature gauges, I sometimes have to squint to see what they're doing, but now I'm now looking for the little yellow icon, which I wasn't doing before, so it now makes sense. I'm a bit of a dinosaur and I don't like change. And then finally this wonderful steering wheel, which feels great in hand. It is a stunning piece of engineering, absolutely stunning, but that's not the point of the video. The video is to pick up on any issues, of which I can find nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully.